Hey Thunderbolts, it's me, Static The Hedgehog here. Today on Friday, I read the next history of the SATAM Characters, and forgive me that I read not quite well because words can be difficult sometimes. But anyway, that is all for now, and let us begin. So, the next character today is Sir Charles the Hedgehog. In the past, Charles lived in the Mobotropolis where he looked after his nephew Sonic. Eventually, he was knighted by the king for his brilliant intellect, and he worked as an inventor. At some point, Charles invented the robotic sizer to help the elderly live longer. However, when Charles learned that robotic-sized people lost their free will, he destroyed the invention. On the 30th day of the year 32, 2024, Dr. Robotnik made a coup and took over Mobotropolis, transforming the city into Robotropolis. Charles, like most of the city's population, was roboticized and became a workbot in the service to Dr. Robotnik. All thought Charles could not join the knockout freedom fighters. The power rings he invented proved to be very useful to their case and especially for Sonic. Years later, Robotic Charles went with a group of workbots to the crystal mine. There, he was catched by Sonic. Being under Robotnik influence, Charles tried to attack his nephew and turned on the alarm. However, he was restrained by Bonnie and Sonic turned off the alarm. The knockout freedom fighter then gave Charles a power ring, which allowed to Charles regain his consciousness and free will. After saying hello to Sonic and his friends, however, he led them into a crystal mine where he showed them a massive energy crystal which Dr. Robotnik forces were intending to host out on that day. If that much energy crystal was removed, the Mobius ecosystem would collapse. Charles thus went along with Sonic and Bonnie to take over the mine's Dinobot, while Sally, Rota and Antwoord attempted to get to the control center and take the control of the crane that was extracting the energy crystal. After Charles, Bonnie and Sonic took the control of the Dinobot, they used it to destroy the energy crystal. Afterwards, the hero began to escape the crystal mine. However, Charles could not come back to the knockout phase with them because the power rings effect were wearing off, causing his mind to be taken over by Robotnik's programming again. Sonic did not want to leave him, however, so his friends dragged him away from the aggressive Charles, who wanted to attack them, and escape on board a train. Later, Charles will work on the Sweetbot. Having seen Charles doing a mission to the hangar, Sonic went to approach him, but he was detected by Dr. Robotnik and he had to run away. When Charles later resumed work on the Sweetbot, Sonic came back and made him grab a power ring. Regaining his free will once more, Charles came with Sonic knockout phase to be de-roboticized. There, Sonic, Sally and Rotor tried to treat him with the de-roboticizer only for the machine to get damaged. As Charles then reverted back to an aggressive workbox again, the heroes were forced to imprison him in the cage until they could fix the de-roboticizer. After Sonic brought them the parts they needed, Charles was roboticized. Afterward, he went on a walk with Sonic and told him that he was aware of what was happening to him all the time, but he could not do anything about it. Returning to the Rotor's workshop, he explained to Rotor what the de-roboticizer would need. When Charles later worked with Antoine to improve the de-roboticizer, Tails came to them. At the point, however, the de-roboticizer effects wear off, causing Charles to revert back to a mindless workbot. He subsequently kidnapped Tails and Antoine and destroyed the de-roboticizer. He then began to flee from the knockout with Antoine and Tails. While in the swamp, however, he made in the pool of Megamach to catch Sonic while preparing a vehicle for himself which he could use to return Robotropolis in. When Sonic later arrived and fell into a Megamach, Charles took Tails and Antoine with him, with the intention of returning to be Blue Hedgehog. However, after landing in Robotropolis, Sonic catch up with Charles and he told him to fight Robotnik, succeeding through the sheer force of while Charles regained control of his mechanical robot. Charles then decided to stay in Robotropolis and act as a spy for the freedom fighters, even though Sonic wanted to take him back to Knockho. When SWAT-bots then began to approach, Charles hid Tails and Antoine and pretended to catch Sonic. However, he let go of Sonic after the Sweet Bot arrived, which allowed Sonic to destroy the Sweet Bot. Charles later left a message for the freedom fighters at a special point, which said that Dr. Robotnik was moving the roboticizer somewhere else. He did not exactly where yet, however, but promised that he was going to inform them as soon as found out. Later, Dove came to Charles with a message from Sally, who said that she could not find Sonic anywhere. Charles thus met with Sally, Bonnie, and Dulcie in Robotropolis and began to search for Sonic all over the city. When they could not find him, however, Charles and Sally disguised themselves as tech bots and snuck into a facility where people awaiting for roboticization were kept. When they could not find Sonic there, however, Charles was certain Sonic was okay, as he doubted that Robotnik would roboticize Sonic without announcing it. After a while, Charles and Sally found an amnesiac Sonic in the company of Sniffly, who intended to use Sonic to locate the Knockho. Charles thus told Sally to go back and warn freedom fighters while he investigated the matter. Later, Charles found out that Sonic had been hit by a memory scrambler, which means that they could restore his memory using a power ring. Charles thus went to the Knockhold and informed the heroes of what he had found out. Later, Charles joined Tails and Sally in a race to the Lake of Rings in order to catch next the power ring that was due to emerge. With Tails getting the power ring in time, the heroes used it and restored Sonic's memory. Afterward, while Sonic stopped Sniffly's invasion of Knockhold by using the memory scrambler on him, Charles and Sally cancelled the incoming Steelbot, the Squadron's attack on Knockhold. The group then went to Robotnik's headquarters, where they changed the location of the Knockhold to Great Swamp and fled just Robotnik Returns. Charles' history was later slightly altered when Sonic and Sally went back in time with the Time Stones to stop Dr. Robotnik before he rose the power. In the past, while Charles worked in his lab, young Sonic and Sally would bother him, so he asked them to go outside. He then met the present-day Sonic and Sally, who warned him of the Robotnik scoop and the consequences it would have. Upon hearing that Robotnik was using the roboticizer to enslave people, Charles went to check his computer and discovered that the plans for his roboticizer has been stolen by Robotnik. After a wild thought, young Sonic and Sally showed up, and Charles helped cover for their present day to counterparts by telling the children that they were their distant cousins. Soon after, the Sonic returned from a race of theirs, and the present-day Sonic informed them that he had seen tanks and the Hoover units move towards the street. When Sally then asked Charles about the date, it turned out that Sonic and Sally had arrived to the late and Robotnik would carry out his coup today. Charles, Sonic and Sally subsequently went to a small hut on the outskirts of Mobotropolis, where they waited for Rosie. When she finally arrived with young Antoine, young Rotor and young Bonnie, Charles told her that if something extraordinary happened, she should take the children to the knockhole. Afterward, Charles organized an audience with the king for the present day Sonic and Sally. Meeting up with the king, Charles explained to him that the heroes had come from the future to warn him about Robotnik conspiracy. However, it was too late. Immediately after, Robotnik force surrounded the palace and all thoughts gathered inside. Charles told Sonic to take Sally and run away while he took care of the SWAT-bots by distracting them. While he managed to ensure Sonic and Sally escape, he was catched himself. He was later lined up for roboticization along with the young Sonic, young Sally, and the other children. Soon after, Charles was roboticized, just like in the original timeline, but present-day Sonic and Sally managed to save the children and lead them to Knockhole. Charles later got into Dr. Robotnik's headquarters with the aid of Sonic and Dulcie and installed an eavesdropping box in the air duct. After returning to his hideout, he overheard Robotnik's conversation with Sniffly about how he was going to attack Dragoness. As such, Charles called up Dove and sent Sonic and Sally a message that told them to warn Dulcie. Later, Sonic met up with Charles, who had overheard Robotnik's plans. According to Charles, Robotnik was escorting a kidnapping Mother Dragon to the Dragon Roboticizer. Thanks to the combined effort of Charles, Sonic, Sally, and Dulcie thought the heroes rescued the Mother and Dragon and defeated Robotnik along with the traps and he had set for them. Later, Charles sent the Dove to the Knockhole with an urgent message for Sonic that they told him to come to him immediately. After Sonic arrived, Charles told him that he had got a broadcast from Dr. Robotnik, who was bringing all his commanders in for the upcoming Doomsday Project. Charles thus decided to follow the first meeting regarding this mysterious project that was taking place soon. Charles later recorded one side of the conversation between Robotnik and Sniffly. He then called Sally and Dulcie to Robotic Polis and gave Sally a floppy with the recorded conversation on it. As it turned out, Snippy was supervising the excavation at Drothang, which contained the deep power stones, which Robotnik would surely use for his Doomsday Project. Sally wanted to talk up the information about the stones and Nico, but found herself cut off from that information. Charles then explained to her that the king had implanted various time locks in Nichols to keep her from accessing sensitive information until she came of age. While later working in the Robotnik factories, Charles left his position to download information on the new fuel tankers that were delivering fuel to the Doomsday Machine. During this, he was almost caught by Sniffly, but he managed to cover his actions up. Soon after, Sonic came to Charles in his hideout with chili dogs for him. Sonic then offered him to return to Knuckle, but Charles refused because his mission was not over yet. Later, he sent the Knockout Freedom Fighters information about the fuel tanker conflict that was due to set off from Robotropolis. Sometime later, Charles and Sonic tried to eavesdrop on the conversation in Robotnik's headquarters, only to discover that the eavesdropping box was damaged. Charles thus planning to set up a new one. This time, Sonic helped him by distracting the guards in front of Robotnik's warehouse. Charles then snuck into an air duct. Eventually, thought he came across Antoine. Getting scared by Charles' sudden appearance, Antoine fell out of the air duct and he was captured by Sniffly. Charles thus told Sonic that saved the interrogated Antoine before he cracked and began telling Sniffy their secrets. After putting a new bug, Charles returned to his hideout. There, he overheard that Sniffy had managed to find Antoine's weak point. After saving Antoine, Sonic left Chuck in order to hand Antoine over Dulcie. In the meantime, Charles returned to his hideout. A moment later, however, SWAT was entered his hideout and arrested him. Charles was then brought to Robotnik, who, using a special device to make him speak, began interrogating Charles. Sonic, however, saved Charles and got him away from Robotnik. Afterward, Sonic wanted Charles to come back to the knockout with him since Covers had been blown. Charles, however, had prepared for such eventually and led Sonic, Sally and Bonnie to his backup hideout. There, he showed them this tech bot disguise which would let him sneak around undetected. All thought Sonic pleaded for him to come home with him. Charles had decided to stay in Robotropolis until Robotnik was defeated. He then said goodbye to Sonic and asked Sally and Bonnie to look after him. He would then shed a tears as Sonic and his friends took their leave. Charles later came to the Great Unknown, where he met up with Sonic, Sally, Tails, Dulcie, and Antoine. When it turned out that Sonic had failed to destroy the Doomsday Machine, Chuck proposed using the Deep Power Stones. Since the Freedom Fighters already had won, Charles added that Sonic should be able to get second stone, which Robotnik kept in Robotropolis. While Sonic retrieved the stone, Charles helped Sally track down the underground tunnel connected to the Doomsday Machine, through which Doomsday parts were being transported. Later, after the Doomsday Machine was destroyed and Dr. Robotnik was defeated, Chuck returned to the Knuckle to celebrate their victory. Charles is a highly intellectual and clever person and outstanding knight, which he gains the honorary title as Sir by the King. He is very devoted to his family and the children, especially his nephews Sonic, Sally, and their friends. He is as well a humanitarian who only wants to his intellectual potential to make inventions that serve the greater good. It is for this reason that he disliked people who use his invention for evil purpose. When he was roboticized, Charles' personality changed into that of a mindless robot. While under the influence of Robotnik's programming, Charles was shown to be wild and extremely hostile. When Sonic finally restored his uncle's free will, Charles regained his old personality. Charles has a genius level intellect. which he has used to create various inventions. His most significant work is to Robotniks, a machine capable of transmuting animals and their organic parts into Robotnik equivalents, outputs at the cost of the recipient losing their free will. In the addition, Charles has invented smaller gadgets, such as sharp needles that can paralyze robots. He is also very clever and has prepared for various situations, which has allowed him to eventually spy on Dr. Robotnik even after he has covers blown. So, that's all for now. I hope you all enjoyed the history of the character that you learn about. And for the next time on Friday, I read the next character history. So, have a nice day and enjoy your day. Laterzzz Thunderbolts. Bye.